You know something I realized today? Most parents don't actually miss the early signs of autism. We see them, we just don't understand them. Looking back, there were so many times and moments with my son, like his behavior, his reactions, that I saw but I ignored. I brushed it off as it's just him. He'll grow out of it. But now, years later, when I look back, I see those signs differently. Not like problems or red flags, but more as clues, early warnings. So today I'm going to share something personal, the early signs of autism, the early signs that my son was doing, but I didn't realize. I ignored, I chose to ignore. And hopefully this will help you. So there were a lot of moments. Some stood out more than others. And some were subtle, easy to miss. So sign one, and not in any particular order, the missing look back. So most babies, most little children, when they explore a room, they often look back at their parents. Just a quick glance. Not exactly seeking permission, but it's more, are you still there? Kind of thing. It's like a protective thing. But my son, he didn't really do that. He just walked off, completely absorbed in whatever caught his attention. And at the time, I thought he's just being independent. He is confident. But now I realize it wasn't independence. It was a difference. So the next sign, functional versus proto-declaration communication. There's a type of communication that children use where they point at something just to share something. And it's not because they want it, they want that particular thing. It's more they want you to see it. For example, look, aeroplane. So we never exactly had a shared moment. And back then, I didn't exactly notice a difference. To be honest, I didn't know there was a difference. The next sign, sign number 3. Again, not in any particular order. Using your hand as a tool. So this one stayed with me because even till this day, my son still does this. Instead of pointing at something that he actually wants, he'll come and take me by the hand and make me get what he wants for him, even though he could actually reach it or get it himself. I mean, now he's 7 years of age and he's been doing this from a very early age, but even at 7, he continues to do this. And often when he does this, he doesn't look at me, he doesn't try to say anything, he just uses my hand as an object. And obviously at the time, I thought, this is clever. He's very intelligent. He knows he wants something and he came and took me to go get it. But now I understand that what he was actually doing is he was trying to communicate in the only way he knew. Sign number 4, inconsistent name response. So some days he'd respond to his name. In the early days, he wouldn't respond at all. We could call him all day, he would not respond. Now, being 7 years old, he's gotten a lot better with it. I can call him by his name. I can practically call him by any name, and he kind of knows it's him, especially from tone and the way I sort of say it. But it's a big improvement. But at the time though, when he initially did that, I thought maybe he's just ignoring me. Maybe he hasn't heard me properly. Maybe he needs to get his ears checked. Maybe we need to get his ears checked. His ears were completely fine. I was in denial. And what I didn't realize at the time is it was my son. He was still processing. And it took him years to learn that I'm calling him. And we finally got there. Number 5, and this is a sign that a lot of you might see, a lack of imitation. So children learn by copying, clapping, waving, making funny faces, sounds. My son, he didn't really imitate. I mean, not consistently anyway. But at the time, I didn't really panic. I didn't think much of it. Every child learns differently. And I thought maybe he'll develop as years go by. But what I didn't understand at the time is difference isn't delay. Sometimes difference is just difference. And my son was different. He learned differently, he developed differently. I just didn't have the knowledge, the understanding to understand back then. Sign number 6, atypical toy use. This one is so common that I've spoken to many parents about this. You see, my son doesn't play with toys in the way normal kids do. And especially in the early days when he was learning newly how to play with toys. This is a crucial early sign. You see, toys, for example, little cars, they weren't cars for him to play like they were cars. They were objects for him to either spin or line up, or even examine very closely. He may even take it apart to see what's inside. I suppose that bit about taking it apart to see what's inside might be quite common with every children. But the rest. And at the time I thought, he's just playing differently. And I was right. He was just playing differently. But at the time I didn't realize why. Sign number 7, fleeting eye contact. So people often misunderstand this one. It's not that autistic children can never make eye contact. In fact, my son now does make eye contact. But in the early days, he hardly ever did. And when he did, it was very brief, very inconsistent, and sometimes very intense and then gone. And it kind of felt like maybe making eye contact felt too strong for him. Maybe it was too intense for him. And that's what I told myself. But now I know that this was one of the early signs of autism. Sign number 8, sensory seeking. So some children avoid sensory input, others crave it. My son, he sought it out constantly. Texture, movement, light, water. And at the time I thought, he's just curious. He's developing, he's learning, he's very active, very adventurous. But now I know that his nervous system was experiencing the world differently. Sign number 9, ukulele. So repeating words or phrases over and over and over and over again. And sometimes it's not immediate, sometimes it's later. Like an echo from something that he's heard before. Just to give an example, my son was watching Peppa Pig. And one of the characters there, a wolf character, howls. And he might have watched that during the day, but during the night, he'll start howling. He suddenly remembers and he'll start just repeatedly howling. And at the time I thought, this is cute, this is amazing. You know, I was telling everyone about it. We were having a laugh about it. It was good, it was entertaining. But it was also an early sign. And one thing you have to understand is this repetition, this ukulele, isn't actually useless. It was early communication practice. A step in language development. Sign number 10, the stop and watch moment. So, there were times when he'd suddenly just stop what he was doing and just watch. And whatever he was watching, it was very deep, very intense. It was as if the whole world around him had disappeared and it was just him and the object he's looking at. And back then I thought he's just distracted, or he's just focusing on a particular thing, or something about that thing caught his attention. And he's thinking something, he's processing something, he's trying to understand something. And here's the thing I want parents to understand. None of these signs on their own actually mean anything. One behavior doesn't define your child. 2 behaviors doesn't define your child. Even several behaviors don't define your child. What matters is patterns, context, and time. And I want to say something clearly. If you're watching this video and you're thinking, oh my God, I've seen a lot of these early signs, don't panic. Seeing signs doesn't mean something's wrong. And it doesn't necessarily mean your child is definitely autistic. It means there may be something different. You see, autism is a spectrum. So it's not one size fits all kind of thing. And because there is differences, the diagnosis is also different for each child. So if you are seeing these signs, don't panic. Take it easy. Go and speak to your doctor, medical professional, and go through the process. It's not necessary that your child definitely has autism. And if they do have it, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. The difference is just information. You panic when you don't have information. When you do, you start to use that. And looking back, I don't regret missing those signs, because I didn't really miss them. I did see them, and a lot of us, we probably do see them. I just didn't understand it yet. And that's okay, because understanding comes with time, with learning. And that experience is the main thing. You will learn the most about raising your child from being with your child. And that's gonna do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave me your comments on the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take care.